Neil, nice to talk with you.
Same here. What's happening with the caucus? People are leaving or showing their frustration here. What's going on?
Well, it's been a tough set of dialogue. Certainly a lot of pressure to go to yes on the bill that was before us. And, you know, I was a manufacturing guy before I got here back in June, and really I kind of look at it, and it's very analogous to the product development cycle. And I just think at the end of the day, we ran up to a deadline that was somewhat arbitrary. It was driven by the Affordable Care Act's anniversary rather than progress on the bill. But I felt like we were making really good progress. I was encouraged by it. There was good collaboration, and I think that's going to continue. People are committed to solving the problem.
You know, I could be wrong, and you're closer to this than I am, as I like to remind guests who actually work in the Capitol, that everyone's piling on you guys and saying, even the president intimating that you were the reasons, not you specifically, sir, but that the caucus was the reason why this whole thing went kablooey. How do you feel about that?
Well, it's part of the facts. Yes, there were people in the Freedom Caucus that were no, and the reality
is... Were you part of that no group?
Yeah, I was a no until, you know, at the very end you look at it and say, look, maybe this is the best thing we can get. So Thursday night, when the vote had been delayed on Thursday, you know, there were a number of people that met with the speaker. I'm sure he met with people across the conference, and my encouragement to him was, even if there's a way to get enough votes, is this really the product we want to launch? You know, if you say, is it important to hit a deadline or get the product right, ask Samsung.
Well, you're right about that, and we are going to get into that separate redo there. But this is your chance for a Samsung redo here, and I'm wondering whether you think it's wise that the leadership wants to redo this so soon. Many have said, wait a minute, why don't you just concentrate on tax cuts, certainly revisit health care, but not now. What do you say?
Oh, I think it's absolutely wise. I think that was my encouragement. I would say, pull the vote. Let's let this process continue. There was good momentum in the collaboration, and I think there's a will to get that done today. And I think it was wise to also pull the bill because you didn't really kill the progress by putting a force. And I think even if it had passed, you wouldn't heal the divisions. You would have people that really felt angry and bitter, and that's where some people are, frankly. And I'm not there. I really feel like there is a path that we can continue to do this. A lot of it's explained by, you know, something called Abilene Paradox, where you have this superficial level of consensus, but when you start looking at organizational behavior, a lot of that's kind of what's gone on here. People in companies are living it. But what I'm seeing really is, you know, certainly a lot of frustration on everyone's part Friday. Right. It didn't feel like a win for anyone on Friday. We want to get this done for the American people. And what I was encouraged by when I came back in on Monday, it wasn't just a few of us, it was the speaker himself. It was broadly across the conference saying, look, we have to find a way to work together. They're not saying it in this language. This is my read as a manufacturing guy. We need to get the product development process right, because when we get that, we're going to be able to work real well. You hear lots of analogies to sports or the military, and what do those guys do? They spend forever drilling and training together. And we are just now starting. When the speaker mentioned we're learning to govern, we're just now starting to get that cohesion. Right. And if we cut it short and pretend that we did it and don't really go through that process, it's going to handicap everything we do. So I think it's wise to do it. I think we're going to get it done, and we're going to end up with a way better bill than we would have had before.
All right, still early on, as to your point, so we'll see what happens. Congressman, thank you very much.
Yeah, thanks, Neil.